there's a lot of connection points, a lot of very intelligent people getting together. It's hard not to make that a win. I would say there's nothing better than learning from others' mistakes. I guess this is maybe like a peek beneath the sheets. We don't solve problems for people. We help them solve their problems.
We're here day 2 at Marina del Rey, RIA Edge West. I'm here with Rob Madore, VP Financial Advisory at MarshBerry. Rob, what have the highlights been for you today? What's happening here? What's really standing out to you?
First, quite honestly, is getting to meet cool people like you that bring this glasses game. So like once upon a time, the only person with cool glasses at these conferences was Mark Bruno.
Oh.
But we have people stepping up all over the place, and I'm clearly falling behind. But the highlight of any of these conferences is people, right? And it's people that are on stage. There's a lot of great content. You get to hear new perspectives. Certainly some perspectives you've heard before, but to draw those out and to hear them again is certainly not a bad thing. And then what you get coming out of that, because there's so many good folks here, there's folks from the industry, there's, advisors and wealth managers and owners of firms and people from around, it's the conversation that surrounds, the conversation around the conversation, if you will.
Yeah,
and so there's a lot of connection points and, a lot of very intelligent people getting together. It's hard not to make that a win.
Awesome. I feel like it's been ait more intimate, opportunity to just refine the conversation instead of like the one or two touch points. Like
definitely,
we might bump into each other a little more, right?
You put friendly people that are used to dealing with clients, out in Marina del Rey, right next to water with a bunch of tables and probably a few drinks. There's going to be some good conversation.
Excellent. I'm looking forward to it tonight. Are you going to be hitting up the cocktail, the networking?
We'll see. We'll see. The day is still young. Awesome. I anticipate being there, but time will tell.
Great. Now, MarshBerry is a sponsor. What brings you out? What is it about the properties and the offer that wealthmanagement.com and RIA Edge West put together?
Yeah, it's just about being around people. There's good people here. Like I said, there are folks like yourself. Obviously, you've got a lot of some of the leading thinkers. Sometimes you have folks like Tibergen, you got Bruno, you got the who's who, if you will, and it's nice to be around them and be considered in the same breath.
Awesome. Now, this conference is specifically growth focused, and with so many flavors and approaches to achieving growth, I know that MarshBerry fits in a very specific place in the market, in the industry. Can you tell us a little bit about what you do and how you help firms grow?
Yeah, of course. So what MarshBerry does, and we work with firms, I like to say it's not necessarily the size of firm that dictates who we work with. It's kind of more about the management's perspective and what they're trying to do. We don't work with a lot of firms that are lifestyle businesses. Nothing against it. Sometimes I wish mine was a little more lifestyle, but ultimately we work with the folks that are, if you're $500 million, you want to be $1 billion. If you're $1 billion, you want to be a $5 billion, right? You're trying to create something. But what we end up doing outside of our M&A work, we do a fair amount on the investment banking side, and we're really good at it. I won't hide from it, but we do a lot more work on management consulting, which is helping that $500 million firm think about how they become $1 billion and the hurdles they're going to face and how they get ahead of it. And then for folks that want to sell in 5, 10, 15 years, it's just creating a decision tree, if you will, as to what he'd solve first, right? Everyone is limited on time. Everyone's limited on capital, primarily time though. So you're not going to be able to solve 10 things at once. It's kind of staggering and figuring out where I am with my business today and with what I'm trying to build. What do I solve first? What do I solve second? And how do you iterate off that?
Awesome. That seems so compelling, and I know for so many folks, like they may have even had a bit of experience, with M&A, but to work with somebody like you and a firm like MarshBerry that's been through the paces quite a few times to help prioritize, structure that decision tree, work through the process order appropriately, that seems like a big value add. Eh?
I would say there's nothing better than learning from others' mistakes, and we've gotten to see things that go really, really right, and we've gotten to see kind of more of the oh crap moments where it was like, wow, I should have really thought about this 5 years ago or 2 years ago or even a year ago. Yeah. And I think that the best thing, and I guess that kind of wraps conferences all together, is you get to learn from others who have done it and seen things and run into walls that you may not know are there. And that's the real value, is having someone that is going to sit by your side and be a sounding board and help you make decisions and make sure you're kind of on the right path.
Awesome. Sounds a lot like, almost therapy for advisors, just like advisors are often thought of as therapists for clients. Like, is that an element to it?
Therapist is definitely not an official part of my job, but I would say that I have taken a few crying phone calls at 10:30 at night.
That's amazing how far that type of support can go in fast pace, like high stakes type stuff that you're definitely involved in. So very, very cool. I'm wondering a little bit about your MarshBerry story. Like, how long have you been with the firm? How did you get in there? What
Sure.
drew you to it?
Yeah. So I've always been, passionate about this business and finance. There is a bit of a long story if you really wanted to do that.
Man. Yeah, tell me.
No, but I started in fintech, and what we were doing is really around growth, and it was around connecting. The wealth management side, the retirement consulting side. There's still a big thesis around being able to find that next. It's almost like creating a custodial referral network out of the retirement plan. So I worked heavily with firms that had large wealth management practices and large retirement consulting practices. Okay. And then, over time, I got into the detail from doing consulting with a lot of those firms. I got a little more into the detail of how these RIAs are run and what they're trying to do. Oddly enough, I guess, timing is everything in the market, right? And I was fortunate enough that, to be in a position like I am today, move into the investment banking side, the management consulting side, at a time when there's a lot of capital coming to the space and really changing how firms operate, how they have to compete. Mm-hmm. And, the fortunate position we're in at MarshBerry and others in our position too, there are a lot of good ones out there. We maybe just do things a little bit different, but the fortunate position is we get to see how things are happening at the really, really large firms at the high end. We get to work with firms who are a little earlier in their growth stage, and and hopefully help everyone learn from what's going on in the industry, and like I said, avoid some of those mistakes that are being made. So that's kind of a dance around answer, but
I love it. I think that helps connect a lot of dots, and it seems like some serious opportunity for a lot of folks.
I guess there's some serious to it. I mean, this is
I like that you lighten it up, because when I think about inorganic and MIA, I just think about like, oh my gosh, term sheets and like high anxiety and all that type of stuff. You love it. You thrive in that environment.
Hey, I mean, if you love it, you hop on planes 4 days a week and go do it. That's
hell yeah.
Isn't that the old saying?
Yeah. Tell me then, what, like, of everything that you do in your day to day, where's your happy place? When you're like in the pocket, in the zone, what do you really love most about your job?
In the crease?
Yeah, in the crease.
I guess the beauty of my job is I get to see a lot of different things. And the nice thing about being at MarshBerry is we have experts in pretty much any area. So I certainly have my expertise, but I always have great people to lean on no matter what the challenge is for our clients. So I'd say working with clients is just what I like to do, and solving problems alongside them, because we don't solve problems for people. We help them solve their problems oftentimes. And I guess this is maybe like a peek beneath the sheets, but consultants oftentimes just expose, when you're doing management consulting, you're exposing what clients already know, and you're helping them, create a little more of a linear A to B with how they get there. It's not necessarily like reinventing the wheel. Oftentimes it's just kind of fixing small things. I love the deal too. Don't get me wrong. I really like working on deals, but I like working on deals with folks that are ready for it, because they're going to ultimately have better results. So, luckily, what I get to do, whether it's in the consulting side or on the M&A side, is help firms both prepare for and then create liquidity out of probably the most valuable asset they'll ever have in their life.
Awesome. Okay, then that makes me think for firms that are thinking about growth and scale, getting more sophisticated, thinking about it strategically, or if they're thinking about liquidity and exit and succession, if they're on the fence with the conference circuit, with RIA Edge West, something like this, like, what do you think that one of those firms is missing out on? What can they gain from coming out to an event like this?
Learning from those who have been there and those who have done it. I think there is, when you come to a conference like this, much like I said, kind of about what I like with my job, the beauty is you have really large firms who are doing things one way, and it's the old saying of like, you get to be a large firm, you're kind of a battleship, and you get cruising, and you can see what really works there, and you can learn from that. And then you've got really small firms who are trying to solve problems as well. They may not have the infrastructure, the people, the capital, and so they are a little more agile, right? And they kind of evolve the industry from the bottom up because they're doing things differently. So I think what you miss out on by not coming to an event like this is you miss out on a lot of the insights that you get from, like I said, the conversations and the conversations around them.
Awesome. That makes a lot of sense to look at it as almost like a filter mechanism, like from the top down, the stuff that's tried and tested and battleship-like, and from the bottom up, the small firms that are really nimble and more experimental and more
Agile.
free and agile.
Yeah.
It seems very, very cool. And like you said, the conversation, the connections, just really neat. Now, you're going to have to jog my memory here. I've been looking at this jam-packed schedule for the last 3 days. It's absolutely banger morning till the end of every day. You're on a panel, correct? You're
I'm actually, so my colleague Kim is on the panel this week. And Kim talked, she talked about a lot of things, but, a lot of M&A focused, and then, how long advisors or owners should be thinking about things ahead of time, which in our opinion, you should always be thinking about it because it can help drive decisions. It doesn't mean you're ever, we say this a lot, right? The firm that's going to be most valuable when they decide to sell, because everyone leaves their business standing up or laying down, you're going to leave your business one way or another. Yeah. The businesses that are going to be the most valuable and have the most options are the ones that never have to. So if you're building your business really intelligently with that in mind, you don't have to ever sell, right? And that's fine. And we're comfortable with that. We're happy to invest in and working with you on that. But ultimately, you're gonna have way more options and way more leverage if you don't have to do a thing than if it's kind of like I said earlier, the oh crap. Yeah. I wish I had thought about this 4, 7, 10 years ago.
Awesome. I love that approach, that philosophy, the longitudinal view, value-minded, something about like what's the best holding period, right?
Like any good consultant, I don't necessarily apply it to my own life with consistency, but I can definitely help clients apply it to theirs.
Awesome. Yeah, just do what I say, not what I do sometimes.
Yeah,
but
maybe it's that. Yeah.
Oh, I'm joking. I think that's more me. I'm sure you guys are like leaps and bounds in terms of helping point people in the right directions and actually, walk the walk and show people how it's done by example. So I kid.
We try to. Yeah.
Awesome.
We got a lot of really good clients, and sometimes we learn that a whole host of things from them.
Awesome. Well, anything you want to close on? What a chat.
I just say hopefully we see. We see some more folks out here next time, and it's been a great conference so far, and certainly good to see you out here as always.
Thank you so much. A real pleasure.
So good to see you.
We'll chat again soon.
All right, sounds good.
Take care, man.
Go Leafs.